The boy's wrists trembled in cold steel cuffs, his eyes fixed on the pavement. The officer laughed cruelly, mocking his family, mocking his father. "Your daddy's probably just a janitor." But the boy knew the truth, that his father was closer than anyone could imagine. And when he appeared, everything changed. The handcuffs bit into his skin as he walked with his head bowed. The street was quiet, yet the officer's laughter cut through the silence like a blade. Neighbors watched from behind curtains, some shaking their heads, others simply turning away. The boy's heart pounded with shame, not because of what he had done, but because of what was being said about the man he loved most. The officer sneered at him, his words dripping with scorn. "Your daddy's probably just a janitor, cleaning floors while real men do real work." Each word struck harder than the cuffs around his wrists. The boy wanted to shout the truth, but he held his silence. He knew his father's dignity did not need defending with words. Beside them walked another figure. Silent, steady, his presence alone carried weight. His vest bore the word Special Ops. He said nothing, his expression unreadable, but his eyes never left the boy. The boy's father had walked 1,000 miles in deserts far from home. He had felt the sting of sand against his face, heard the thunder of gunfire in the dead of night, and carried the weight of brothers lost in battles unseen by the world. His medals were tucked away in a drawer, never displayed, because for him, honor was not meant for show, it was meant for sacrifice. At home, his son only knew fragments of that life. A quiet man rising before dawn, sometimes staring at old photographs as if listening to voices only he could hear. A man who prayed not for glory but for peace. To the boy, he was not just a father. He was the safest place in a dangerous world. Now, as he shuffled forward under the weight of insult, the boy remembered his father's words. Strength is often silent. Let others speak. Let time reveal the truth. The street grew tense. The officer's mocking tone grew louder, as if to perform for the invisible crowd. The boy's silence only fueled his cruelty. Yet the soldier walking beside them, the one marked Special Ops, glanced down the street, and a change swept over his face. From the distance came a figure. Tall, broad-shouldered, dressed not in uniform but in quiet strength. His presence demanded respect without a word. Every step he took seemed to still the air, as though even the wind paused to recognize him. The officer's laughter faltered as the figure drew closer. The boy lifted his head, eyes filling with a mix of relief and pride. The man approaching was his father. No uniform was needed. The scars on his hands, the weight in his walk, and the calm authority in his gaze revealed everything. He did not shout. He did not rush. He simply arrived, and that was enough. The officer's smirk faded. His words, so sharp and cruel a moment ago, now hung heavy with shame. The Special Ops soldier beside him straightened, his hand brushing against his chest in quiet respect. He knew this man. He knew the battles fought, the lives saved, the sacrifices made. The father stopped in front of his son. For a moment, there was silence. Then, softly, he spoke. Never be ashamed of who you are. And never let laughter hide the truth. The officer lowered his eyes, unable to meet the gaze of the man he had mocked. His laughter was gone, replaced with the silence of guilt. The boy's father placed a steady hand on his son's shoulder. The boy's back straightened, his shame replaced with pride. He no longer felt small. He no longer felt alone. In that moment, the world saw the truth: respect is not earned through loud voices or mocking words. It is earned through sacrifice, silence, and the strength to keep walking when others would fall. Honor does not need to speak, the father whispered, so only his son could hear. It simply stands. The neighbors who had once watched in silence now stepped outside, their faces softening with respect. The scene had shifted. The laughter that once echoed was gone, replaced by quiet awe. The boy walked forward with his father by his side, no longer burdened by shame but lifted by pride. The officer remained behind, left with the weight of his own actions. And as the two disappeared down the street, one truth lingered in the air: some heroes wear no uniform, yet carry the power to silence cruelty with nothing more than their presence. Respect is not about power or position. It is about sacrifice, honor, and the unseen battles fought in silence. Too often, we judge without knowing the stories carried in someone's heart. If this story moved you, share your thoughts below, tell us where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories that honor true silent heroes.